Everyone loves to tell you that these styles are dated, but hardly anyone ever tells you how to actually fix them. Hey there, hi, welcome to the channel. I am Garrett, and in this video, I am sharing with you some of the interior design styles that I don't like, I'm a little bit over, that you have pointed out to me that you don't like, but I'm gonna share with you the design advice I give on how to actually fix them and what I recommend you do to upgrade your space. Now be sure you give this video a like and you're subscribed to the channel for more videos like this. You have the bell notification turned on to get notified every time I upload. And let's get into the video. Now the first interior design style that everybody says is dated but nobody tells you how to fix is Tuscan. And I'm not talking about Tuscan overall, I'm specifically gonna focus on the Tuscan Kitchen because we invested a little bit too much into the Tuscan Kitchen. And it wasn't necessarily a bad thing because most of the time what we put into these spaces was actually pretty good quality, meaning a lot of it is worth saving. But some of it we went overboard with. And I'm just gonna say the unpopular opinion that nobody wants to talk about but everybody knows is true. Nobody has ever liked Tuscan design. Everybody just likes wine. That's it. The theme of Tuscan design was like, we like to drink. Love that for you. But we're a little bit past that. We like other things in our life. Maybe you don't like other things in your life. That's your business. But that was the whole vibe of the Tuscan Kitchen, which is why my first recommendation is no more grapes. No more grapes. A lot of times we would do like fake plants and fake grapevines and they'd be painted and murals and you'd do the backsplash with the hand-painted text. No. None of that. That is all worth removing. It's all worth getting rid of. If you have a Tuscan Kitchen and you are looking to do renovations, but you want to keep them on a budget, you don't want to remove everything, that's the first thing I recommend you get rid of. The backsplash with the painted grapes on it, all of that, especially the tumbled marble backsplash. I always think a tumbled marble or a travertine looks good on a floor, but on a backsplash, it's just a little bit too much. It's just a little bit tired and we're kind of getting over that. So if you are in a position where you're going to be changing that out, I definitely recommend that's where you start. A lot of times the wood tone and cabinetry we used in these spaces is actually pretty good. It's a neutral, it's somewhere in the middle, or it's a rich dark tone. And I like that. I think that's good. I think it's worth keeping, but we also used a lot of faux finish painting, and that's my next recommendation. A lot of times we did these like faux techniques that either made things look older than they were, or we're supposed to make things look a little bit, more like rustic or something like that, but we don't necessarily need to do that. And one of the biggest ones I saw was like faux wall techniques that were made to mimic Venetian plaster. And Venetian plaster is very expensive. Really beautiful, incredible high quality, but expensive. So a lot of people opted not to put that into spaces, and that's okay. But we don't need to have faux finishes on the walls. It's a little bit much. It just reads as being very dark and closed in. Replacing those, repainting those spaces with some lighter, fresher colors will immediately open them up and make them feel very fresh and very new. If you have a Tuscan Kitchen that has these faux distressed type of cabinets, that's a good place to repaint cabinetry too. You can keep a wood tone, do a two-toned kitchen. That's always really fun. And if you have one of these kitchens that has a lot of ornate details that can't be removed, that they're structural, that won't just come off of the front of these cabinets or off of the island or whatever, those are good things to paint too because they actually have a lot of detail that relates to a lot of other styles that will play really nicely if they're just a solid color, if they don't have that faux distressing, because that can definitely age a home. We're not really fans of faux distressing. Like that was in for a little while. I don't personally get why. I was never into it, but some people were. It's not really the most popular thing right now. I don't foresee it becoming very popular because we are embracing this lifestyle of more authentic, aged, vintage pieces. So keep that in mind as you go forward, but you can always actually distress something if need be by, cutting into it, banging it up a little bit, scuffing the edges on it. That's always okay too if it's already kind of in this faux distressed finish. But repainting those will really freshen up a space. Also, if you are in a Tuscan kitchen and you're like, Garrett, I'm a little bit tired of it, it's a little bit dark, it's a little bit heavy, replacing the countertops is always a good option. It's very expensive, but it will really rejuvenate and revitalize a kitchen like this. And the craziest part about this is, to me, was that these Tuscan kitchens were like ultra luxurious. Everyone wanted one, they were so in, but the granite tops used were actually very like builder grade granite. They were kind of like that heavy patterned, like tan with the black. This is always very heavy, but if you have a Tuscan kitchen that you plan on painting, you can paint the cabinetry like a really fresh, beautiful white and revitalize that granite. Or if you plan on keeping the wood, consider changing the countertops out to something that's a little bit more simple, a little bit more fresh, not a heavy veined marble or anything like that, but something that's just simple and will look beautiful. Maybe a honed finish would be gorgeous. Overall, lightening these Tuscan kitchens up will help make them look and feel very fresh. Because like I said, we usually did them in really high-end and high-quality materials that will last. And if you have a Tuscan kitchen and you really like it and you're like, Garrett, I like the finish, I like the colors, I like the countertop, that's great and I love that for you. No more grapes. Lose the grapes, lose the decorative wine bottles. We don't need that. We get it, we love it, you love it. I'm all about that for you, but we don't need to have a wine-themed kitchen. The next interior design style that everybody tells you is out, but nobody tells you how to fix is Glam. I actually did a video all about updating Glam style that I will link in the description box for you down below, where I went into full detail on everything I'm about to give you here. So this is a little synopsis of it. The first thing with Glam is that we tended to see very gray and very chrome, like silver finishes. These pose a little bit of a problem because they're very cold toned. We are moving into a place where we want our homes to be a little bit more cozy, a little bit warmer, a little bit more comfortable, but you might not be in a position where you can get rid of everything, and that's okay. What I recommend is layering in more warm tones, because gray and tan and gray and beige and gray and cream, they're friends. They come from the same color families and they work really well together. Find that one piece that combines those two colors together. Maybe it's a pattern on a pillow or a drapery. Maybe it's a rug. That piece will then allow you to build and layer into the space and bring those tan, warm tones in. The next thing to update that Glam style I recommend is opting to replace some of the silver finished items with gold finished items. And this doesn't mean you need to get rid of anything. You can paint, you can spray paint, you can check out some gold paints in my Amazon storefront, which will be linked in the description box down below. There's a lot of things you can do to upgrade pieces you already own. And that's the one thing I love about the Glam style, was that we really invested in a lot of pieces, but they're all really convertible and they can be changed and made to be something different. Glam style can be really beautiful, but what I think we need to do is transition it away from this kind of like gaudy glam into more Hollywood Regency glam, because it's very luxurious, it's very elevated. One of the recommendations I gave in my How to Upgrade Your Glam Style video was that you can take these mirrored pieces of furniture we saw so much of. Everybody loved them. They went to the Pier 1 and they got them from here and there, everywhere. Love that. They usually have a pewter or silver toned trim on them. Painting that in a gold will immediately make that piece feel warm, luxurious, unique, and different. Will upgrade it. And the secret on this is everybody is telling you to get rid of this mirrored furniture so you can pick it up on the resale market for dirt cheap. Love it, and you can upgrade it, you can change it up, you can restyle it and elevate it. Ugh, don't make me go on about this because I absolutely love that tip. Painting that mirrored furniture, just the trim on it, is so elevated, so luxurious, and will upgrade your glam style and still keep it glam. Because if you liked glam, I want you to keep that glam and I want you to have it. But just changing that up and adding some warm tones to it will really elevate the space and give you a space that feels warm and cozy and comfortable, but is still very polished and high-end the way I know you like it.
Oh, yes. Oh, is that the baby? Or did you come to see me? Oh, Albert. Oh, Albert likes comfy places too. Hmm? Oh, is your little tongue out? Hmm? Oh, you like it? Do you like that?
The next style that everybody loves to tell you is dated, that it's out, but nobody ever loves to tell you how to fix is the kitschy farmhouse. I love farmhouse design. I think it's beautiful. It's not going anywhere. It's never going out of style because a lot of people really love the warmth, the comfortableness that comes with it, and I think that's great. But we took farmhouse to a little bit of that Pinterest kitschy vibe, and it was just a little bit too far, but we can bring that in really easily. A large part of that is decluttering, not having an accessory on every surface, bringing it back a little bit. A lot of the word art is a little bit too much. And you know I'm not a fan of the word art, but if you like it and you want to keep a piece or two, you have to do that and do what makes you feel comfortable in your space. But limiting that is what is going to elevate the space. Something else we saw with a little bit of this kitschy farmhouse was over layering and soft furnishings, pillows and blankets and throws. Like we would fill a sofa up with it and be like a slip covered sofa covered in pillows and then have blankets on each arm. It can be a little bit much very quickly. A great option or alternative to that is to add a wood toned basket into the space and put some of those extra blankets or pillows into that. That way we're breaking it up a little bit. We're calming down what's happening on our sofas and chairs, but we still are keeping that very full, lush, soft, and comfortable look and feel we want in a little accessory. Because if you use a warm toned basket with a lot of these soft furnishings, it will help to break them up and create a little bit of contrast and visual interest. While you're limiting some of those accessories, let's talk about some of the things to bring into the space, and that is antique wood furniture. And it doesn't have to be really high-end, like mahogany finish, this or that expensive, but just something that has a wood tone will help to break up a lot of these faux finishes, a lot of the painted finishes we had, and doing a little bit more organic accessorizing. Think vessels with texture and vases and beautiful flowers, but limiting to that, maybe a coffee table book here or there. We don't want to have a ton of accessories layered on things because it distracts from those pieces versus having one darker piece of furniture, whether it's a wood finish or painted black or something, which you know I have a feeling about painting vintage furniture. Be sure you check out that video in the description box down below. But bringing in some authentic vintage pieces as opposed to having new pieces that look like they're faux distressed will bring in a lot of detail and a lot of character to a space. And that's one of the things that Farmhouse has always had and has been known for, is having a lot of character in it and feeling very comfortable. We want to keep that, but we want to incorporate some elements that are a little bit more genuine, a little bit more authentic, because a lot of the distressed furniture is just kind of faux distressed furniture versus bringing in something that actually has some history, has some of those real scratches in it, is going to make it feel a lot more comfortable, a lot more homey, especially if you have kids. Like if they bump into it, if they scratch it, if they scuff it up, guess what? It already had those and it's just adding to the authentic character that that piece has. And I love that for you. I love that for a family. And one of the best things about the Farmhouse design style is that it really is conducive to family living because things are a little bit softer, things are a little bit less polished. You can kind of get away with a little bit more, like the kids can play on the sofa, it can look a little lumpy. I like that. I love that for that style, and I think that's something you should embrace a little bit more. Adding some linen textures in will also elevate that space. Those textured hands really say to me utilitarian, they say farmhouse, they say authentic and genuine, as opposed to something that's faux finished or one of those like chunky knitted blankets. Those things don't say farmhouse, they say kitschy farmhouse, and we want to avoid that and go for something a little bit more genuine. Well, there you have it, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below, because I want to hear from you. Tell me, what are some of the design styles that you think are dated but you think have so much potential, or that you'd love to hear my take on? Let me know in the comment section down below. Be sure you give this video a like, and you might know someone that has one of these styles that doesn't know what to do. They want to upgrade, they want to elevate. Maybe you just bought a new house that has one of these styles. Be sure to share this video with a friend because friends help friends. And I will see you in the next one.